Okay guys, so let's go ahead and check out Lunc's recent activity and see if we can figure out what it's up to. Guys, it would appear as if Lunc is trying its very best to break out. Now, this is Lunc on the daily charts. And this price that is currently at 4046 is actually right at resistance. It used it as resistance right over here. Let me pull it over so you guys can see it. Based off of these candles right here, it ran into resistance all the way back here, right at the 4047 area. And it also did it here as well, just a little bit higher at 4077 and up here at 4049. So this area from 4046 to 4049 is an area of resistance which we all need Lunc to conquer if we're going to see higher numbers going forward. This here is my blue line that I had placed in to highlight the projected period of bearishness. It's basically a bearish triangle, a falling wedge. And as you guys notice, we have our first green daily candle closing above this blue line that I placed in right here. I like this candle. This candle to me, it's indicating that there's a possibility that Lunc is getting ready to break out. Because I've been watching this from the very start. I've been watching it very keenly, guys. And now we're on the second candle. I mean, this is indicating strength and bullishness. Because if we look over here, if we compare this pump with this one over here, this pump was obviously unsustainable. There wasn't much structure in comparison to the one that we're having now. If you notice, we pumped up here and then we consolidated a little bit. And then afterwards, we went on to pump again. That is exactly what we want to see, guys. And this causes me to believe that this is not a fake out. Actually, too, guys, this pattern here on the daily, this W pattern, is actually a bullish pattern, especially if it manages to break this neckline right here. If it breaks above here, it will get very bullish. Very, very bullish. I believe it's even already bullish on the daily, as from it started closing above this blue line that I placed here. It's an indication of bullishness on the daily, that is, on the daily. As regards the weekly time frame, because remember what I told you guys before, the higher the time frame, the more powerful the signals will be as regards when the candles close above. Okay, so this is the blue line, and that's what the wedge looks like. You see that, guys? This is one giant bearish triangle, a falling wedge, which is actually very bullish whenever it comes to the end of the wedge. And as you guys can see, it is basically there, guys. It is basically there on the weekly, that is. On the weekly time frame, we're already basically at the end of this long protracted period of bearishness. At the very end of this falling wedge pattern. It appears, it wants to appear as if, or it looks to appear as if Lunc is attempting to break out of this falling wedge, guys, which would be, man, that would be tremendous. That would be just lovely. Because it would be then clear skies for us. I wonder if I can maximize it a little bit. Let's go ahead and see if we can do that. To have a better look at it. Yeah, look at that. So this is a weekly candle. It will be the first weekly candle that we would have that would close above this falling wedge, this line that I placed here. And we won't know until Sunday evening. So come Sunday evening, I want to see where this weekly candle is going to close. I'm really hoping, I'm rooting for it. I'm really hoping that it will close above this blue line. Because if we see that happening, guys, which would be anywhere above, let's say, let's put it at 405, anywhere above 405, I'd say that it would still be very bullish. That would be a very good sign. If we were to see a weekly candle closing anywhere above this blue line here. So come Sunday evening, I want to see where this is going to close. Because that would indicate that Lunc would also be flipping bullish on the weekly, which would be even that much more powerful. Okay, guys, so what do we want to see if we want to know that it is officially like a concrete sign that it is now flipped bullish and we're heading higher? If we were to see whether it's the daily or even the weekly come right up here at the top of this candle, look where this right here at 408, that's what we want to see. We want to see a pump come all the way up here. And since it's a level of resistance based off of this candle right here and all of these candles, hence why it came up here and just started selling off, because it's a level of resistance right here. So perhaps if it even comes up here, it runs into resistance and then, you know, have like a minor pullback, chop around a little bit, consolidate a little bit before taking off higher. It may work out that way, or it could very well just plow right through here, you see. But that's what we want to see. We want to see it get up here and close above 408. And that would confirm, that would be a concrete confirmation that Lunc is getting ready to take out a zero. But so far, we're seeing the very first signs. It needs to come up higher, though. It needs to start closing above 405. And perhaps it will. You know, it much depends on Bitcoin. Let's quickly have a look at Bitcoin, because both Lunc, let me put it back on the daily first. Both Lunc and Bitcoin, guys, are fighting resistance currently. Let me show you. You see, that's one right here, one here, and another right here. So it's formed a W, which, as I've mentioned before, it's actually a bullish pattern, this W pattern, which if it breaks out, it will be very, very good. So both Lunc and Bitcoin is currently at a neckline fighting resistance. And if they break out, they're going to go up a little bit higher. Especially Bitcoin is going to go up higher. For Lunc, is going to go up much, much higher. So let me quickly have a look at Bitcoin here. Wow, it would appear as if Bitcoin has already broken its neckline. Even while I was just speaking. Look at that. Yes, it did. You see, it's no longer resting on this candle right here. So while I was speaking, Bitcoin got up and broke its neckline, which means that it's going to come up. It's going to come up higher, potentially even up here. Right up here is where I mentioned this zone before already. At 78,000, this is where Bitcoin is probably going to come. Right up here, since it's broken this neckline. It's coming right up here, guys. 78, 79, right on top of these candles over here. Bitcoin's headed right up here. So this is actually good for Lunc, because I was kind of concerned as it regards to Bitcoin, because we know that if Bitcoin were to turn bearish, it would affect the price or the apparent breakout of Lunc negatively. So we wouldn't want to see that. What we'd want to see is for it to continue to consolidate a little bit, or even to pump. Now that would affect the price of Lunc. It would definitely encourage Lunc to continue on its bullish momentum. So this is actually good for Lunc, guys. What Bitcoin is doing is good for Lunc. Now, if it continues, I believe that Lunc is going to break out of this level of resistance right here. It's going to break, let's call it 405 right here. If Bitcoin continues like that, Lunc is going to break 405 and head towards, let me show you, and head towards first 408. And like I just explained to you guys, the two scenarios, it may come up here and have a small pullback before continuing higher, or it may just plow right through there. And then where it's headed next, it's obviously going to take out a zero. It's going to smash 301, and it's heading all the way up here, guys. This is where it's headed. 3018. That is exactly where it's headed. I'm going to go ahead and put it up on the monthly. So this is Lunc. This is basically on another chart. This is Lunc on the monthly, guys. And as you guys can see, it's been in a falling wedge on the monthly time frame as well. One massive falling wedge. And look where it's currently at. I'm pretty sure that I beforehand highlighted this falling wedge to you guys before in the past. And I told you that it's only a matter of time. It's getting very, very close to the edge. And once it gets out there, it will have no choice but to break out. And that's exactly what's going to happen. And look at where we're currently at in April. Look at where we're at, guys. I'd say there is only one more space left for one more month, and that will be next month. You see, that's even if we don't break it in this month. So on the monthly, for Lunc to switch bullish on the monthly, we'd want to see it close above 406. You guys see that? So 406 would be above this blue line right here. Anywhere above here. Better would be at that 408 area that I've previously highlighted. That would be much, much better. A much concrete sign that we have now flipped bullish on all time frames up to the monthly time frame. You know, the daily, weekly, and monthly, which would be excellent. That's exactly what we want to see. And it's going to do it because look at where we're at. Look at where we're at on the charts, guys. Look at all of these monthly candles. I know what these monthly candles mean. Whenever you see them consolidating so uniform in a straight line, especially on the monthly time frame, it's even more powerful. What are these candles saying? These very short candles, consolidation in such a long period of time. These are like 4 months. It's been doing nothing, going sideways. It's telling you that a big move is coming very soon. That's what these 4 candles are telling you. A big move. And trust me, I don't think that it's going to be to the downside, because like I've mentioned before many times, Lunc have already crashed. This big move is going to be a breakout towards the upside for Lunc. And it's very, very soon. Perhaps it's exactly what's playing out right in front of us right now. So Bitcoin's on the move because it's just, broken out of its area of resistance right here. And so it could come, it will most definitely come up here. Right around here. At around 70, 79, 80 because of this candle right here. It may come up and touch this candle right here. Another level of resistance based off of this candle and these right here. So from 78 to 80 is where it's coming next. And that's good news for Lunc. Now, what is the reason for Lunc pumping recently? What could cause it? Now, recently I have also heard word of those who had invested in Lunc who have lost money in 2022, because we all know that they're currently going through a lawsuit, the Jane Street lawsuit. I've heard word that some of these folks who have invested in Lunc in 2022, that some of them, the ones that are approved, will be reimbursed. And so that would be very good news for Lunc in general. Very, very good news. And usually news like this is a driving factor behind the price of Lunc pumping. Yes, guys, it looks pretty good on the charts, guys. It looks very, very bullish. You see, that's why I've always told you guys, it is very, very dangerous to be outside of Lunc. at these low prices. You see, it's very dangerous to be out than it is to be currently holding it, because no one knows when it's just going to get up and start pumping. And this here daily candle that closed above this blue line without a wick, based off of my experience, in my opinion, I believe that this is a clear bullish sign for Lunc, that it may only just begun pumping, guys. You see, it's not, I don't believe it's going to be like one of these pumps over here where it was a fake out. I honestly do believe it's going to take out the 405 area. And once we see that, a lot more traders are going to take that as a bullish signal, as a green light, and then they're going to jump in, and then they won't attempt to short it anymore. And even if they were to do it, it's going to be a short squeeze, and that short squeeze is going to take Lunc all the way up to that 3018 area. And I tell you, it's going to be very exciting. It appears as if Lunc is getting ready to explode. Yeah, so we want to see it come up here to confirm the move up here. Now, I've mentioned that personally, I'm going to take some profits up here because I've borrowed some money from myself, of course. And once I do that, I'm pretty sure that I'm not the only one who's going to be taking some profits here as well. Once I do that and I get back in, I'm going to be riding Lunc all the way up to 1 cent. I won't be selling Lunc under 1 cent, guys. I'm going to be riding it all the way up to 1 cent. So that is my thoughts in regards to Lunc. It appears to be trying to break out currently, but it's fighting resistance. As we can see, look at this candle right here. It's using it as resistance. This candle right here, it's indicating a level of resistance. And once we break out of here, I'm telling you, we're coming up here. This is another level of resistance right here. And then we're going to take out this 408. It's coming, guys. Make no mistake. The 301 area is going to be smashed sooner rather than later. It is most definitely coming. So that is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm expecting for Lunc. It's basically at the edge of this wedge on the weekly. It's also almost at the edge of the wedge, the falling wedge on the monthly as well, which all of them are indicating, they're indications of bullish momentum, bullish signs for Lunc, or a very bullish breakout coming very soon for Lunc. So that is it. These are some things that I'm looking at, and I thought that I'd want to just come on here and just speak about them, so you guys know what I'm thinking as regards this recent move for Lunc. Now that's it for this video. You guys please take very good care of yourselves. Peace, shalom, until next time.